good. Hee. You know how long it's gonna take me to edit this because I just say stupid stuff all the time? Oh my goodness. Okay, here we go. Video number 2. What's up, guys? It's Drew, and today I'm going to be answering some questions that you guys asked. Oh, here comes Ollie. Look, we both have gotten a haircut since the last video. He wants nothing to do with me right now. I just got back from erging. I was gone for like 2 hours, and he is so mad that I left him. Okay, I asked you to ask me some questions on Instagram, and I was really surprised that so many people asked me on my Instagram. I didn't think people liked me that much, so that was pretty neat because I had IU Rowing post something too, and I think I got more questions on my personal Instagram than I did from the IU Rowing Instagram, so thanks. When did you start rowing? I started rowing my freshman year of high school for St. Louis Rowing Club. Yeah, I started rowing the spring semester because I played field hockey the fall semester and I had no idea what rowing was. So, yeah. What type of education are you studying and how has each year been while studying? I'm studying elementary education. I want to teach kindergarten, 1st or 2nd grade because I feel like they stop listening after 3rd. But with studying, I would say it's been pretty consistent. I'm actually technically a year behind in my program because I came in as a nutrition major, switched to exercise science, and then the beginning of my sophomore year I switched to elementary education. So I am a little bit behind, but it ends up working out because then I can do my student teaching after I'm done with rowing. So that's fine, but it really depends on how many classes you're taking. I've been taking about 16 credit hours every semester just because with my schedule, it really helps balance it, and that's the perfect amount of credit hours for me. Other people take more, and that'll obviously increase your workload. The more I study, the better I'm going to do in my classes, and like that's that for every major. I don't think it's different for elementary education. My boyfriend's a science major, and he spends a lot more time studying than me, but he also gets better grades than me. So if that's any proof, I hope that answers your question. What type of gear do you get rowing? What a popular question. We get pretty much all the basic stuff. We get a ton of t-shirts, we get shoes every year. This is a shirt that we got this year. Sports bras, spandex. What else do we get? Backpack, duffel bag, all that fun stuff. Yeah, I know that someone requested in my last video to do like a gear haul, so I can definitely do that when we get like our big thing of gear this year. What was a selling factor about IU that influenced you to study there? When I was looking at schools, like I will admit, I did an awful job like looking at the school for the school and not for the rowing team. So I definitely chose IU for its rowing team. I got really lucky, I'll just say that. The campus is absolutely beautiful. The school itself, like, we have some of the best programs in the country, and I got so lucky that it worked out that way for me, because if I would have ended up somewhere else just because I looked at the rowing team and thought the girls were cool, and the education part wasn't great, that would have been a little bit awkward. But yeah, IU is amazing, and I love it. Tips for new and novice rowers. I'd say my biggest tip is to not give up on yourself. It's going to get really hard, and there's going to be a point where you're like, why am I doing this? And like, I have a choice to be here, why am I here? And like, I promise you, at the end of the day, when you're crossing the finish line with all your best friends, and like, medal or not, like, it makes it so worth it. And like, that's the hardest part about being a novice, is you're going into this and you don't know what it feels like to race. You don't know what it feels like to win a Big Ten medal, and like, that feeling crushes all of the awful thoughts that you have during these awful long workouts that you feel like you're not going to get through, and you end up getting through anyway. But just crossing the finish line at the end of the day will make everything worth it, and fighting for that is my biggest motivator. And if I would have known that my novice year, I definitely would have worked a little bit harder. What is your favorite rowing memory? Funny you ask right after I answered that last question. My favorite rowing memory was freshman year. I was in the 1v4 with a couple of girls, two of which are still on the team now. And it was such a fun boat. We had a blast together, and we were at the starting line at Big Tens, and Nicole, who's actually an education major, she's on the team still right now, and she was behind me in the boat, and we are at the starting line at the Big Ten Championship. You get one shot down the course, and she she whispers to all of us, I hope they turned on airplane mode because we're about to fly. And then our motto for like NCAAs and everything ended up being airplane mode, and it was just really funny, and it was like comedic relief for like the nerves that you have as a freshman, especially at the starting line at the Big Ten Championship. We ended up killing it in that race. We medaled. I have my Big Ten medal. It's in St. Louis because my mom won't let me bring it here. Thanks, Mom. But it's real. I can insert a picture of our boat. We had a lot of fun together. Love that boat. Miss it. Can't wait to race again. What is your favorite workout? Good question. I like anything that's like UT1. So UT1 for us is like harder steady state. I really strive during these workouts, and I always have, like in high school when we would do like long pieces that were at like low splits, like those were my best workouts. So here I still strive doing those. My personal favorite, I think, and everybody that goes to IU and rows is going to watch this and like laugh out loud, but I really like the 54-minute pyramid that we do. I know, sounds awful, but it's, you change rates every 2 minutes and it makes it go by so fast, and then you get off the erg and you're like, I just rode 13K straight. Like, I didn't stop for 13K. Like, and it's pretty baller. And then your split's really low too, because you were changing rate and you were higher in rate and lower in rate. I don't know. I really like UT1. I like to go like fast, and I like to surprise myself, and I always surprise myself during UT1 workouts. So that's what I would say for that one. How do you stay mentally tough? In August, when we came back to Bloomington, I was not doing well. I was not hitting my splits. I was not even close to my 6K PR. I did not feel good mentally. Physically, I felt amazing. I felt like I could do anything, but mentally, I just was not there. To get through that, basically, I read a book by David Goggins. And David Goggins, if you don't know who he is and you're an athlete, you need to look him up. He is probably the most motivating man on the planet. I would read his book before bed every night, help me sleep, but I'd be reading it and I'd be like, what am I doing in bed right now? I need to be outside running like a marathon right now. What am I doing? Like, I need to wake up at 4 a.m. and do an extra 10K because that's what David Goggins would do, and David Goggins is amazing. So that's my answer to staying mentally tough, is David Goggins. What do scholarship opportunities look like for IU rowing athletes? And I thought this was a good question, especially for recruits, because I know this is something that I always wondered when I was going through the recruiting process. Here at IU, like, that is not something that our team talks about. We just don't. So I can tell you that I am on scholarship. I know there are others on my team that are on scholarship. I don't know how much. Ooh, this one's good. Tips for rowers with back issues. I was out for 3 months during my sophomore year because of lower back issues, and we never really figured out what was going on, but my best advice that I could give you is to work on your core. Rowers, athletes in general, for the most part, do not focus on their core enough, especially like teenage athletes, like high school athletes. I can promise you your core is not strong enough. Like, we did core all the time at SLRC in St. Louis at my high school rowing club, but we weren't taking it seriously. Like, it was not enough to keep my lower back safe. And then when I came here and started increasing volume on the erg, my core was not ready for that. My core hated every bit of that, so that caused me to have lower back issues. So work on your core strength, work on your hamstring strength, work on those muscles that'll support your lower back so that it doesn't have to do so much work. How do you eat enough food to row in college? This is a great question, and it's actually something I've been working on recently. We have a nutritionist, Isaac. He's great. Follow Indiana Fuel on Instagram. They actually post a ton of stuff on their Instagram, a ton of tips, they post where you can find meals on campus. They post when they're going to be giving away free snacks around campus. They give us a ton of stuff. We have Tobias Nutrition Center, which is the athletes' dining hall, and they have a ton of food there, ton of options. They have fueling stations around campus where you can pick up snacks throughout the day. They have a smoothie bar. Indiana Fuel really has our backs here, and that is a great resource that we have as athletes. And I met with Isaac a couple weeks ago to talk about my nutrition and to talk about what I need to change in my diet, and I wasn't eating enough protein, and I wasn't eating really enough in general. So basically he did all his little calculations where he figured out how many calories that I need to be consuming in a day in order to perform my best and in order to fuel my body the best. He found out that I actually need to be eating 3,000 calories a day, which is a lot of calories. It's just planning your meals, and I also eat the same thing every day, which makes it really easy, like even snacks, like, or at least I know exactly what time I'm eating each snack, so then I know, like, oh, it's 11 o'clock, it's time for my protein bar, whatever. Yeah, anyway, just follow Indiana Fuel, and they post a ton of tips. Like, even if you don't go here, they post recipes, tips, they even post, like, recipes for, like, dorm cooking. So I noticed that this year they started doing it, and they literally, like, cook, like, actual meals, like, in a microwave. It's really cool. They made, like, a chili the other day, and I was like, if I was a freshman in the dorms right now, I would be living it up. I was eating Easy mac and cheese every day when I was in the dorms. What is your favorite part about rowing for IU? This is a really hard question just because I have so many. I've been rowing for so long that there are days where I'm like, why am I still doing this? And then I go to practice and we all just like row, we all click and we row together perfectly, and like the boat moves so smoothly, and like in that moment I'm like, yes, like this is absolutely why I do this. And I have a row like that like 3 times a week, and like it's just, that's an amazing thing, you know? Like in high school I feel like it was like, yeah, okay, this is good, but like I don't know. And I always feel like when I say stuff like that, people are gonna think that I'm like just trying to sell IU to them, and I'm absolutely not. Like, this is genuinely my opinion. I think that's all my questions though, so that's good. Alright guys, that's gonna be it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got something out of it. If you ever have any more questions, feel free to comment them and I'll try to get back to you. And if there's enough questions, I can obviously do a part 2 to this. Train wreck, but my camera stopped recording right there, so right when I was about to end. But anyway, comment video suggestions down below. Let me know what else you want to see. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time, and hopefully it'll be less of a hot mess. Bye!